Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Crystal Game Engine series. So, today is gonna be like a little devlog episode. Basically, I have created a little thing, sort of like Unity's on collision enter function, so I'm just gonna go ahead and showcase it. If you don't know what it does, it basically, so if you haven't watched the last live stream as well, go ahead and watch that because you won't really understand what's going on, or at least just like skim through it. But basically, I made this very bad only up clone. And the issue though is that, like, you can just like decide to just like keep jumping like that, which is obviously not okay because you should only be able to like jump once or twice, you know, depending maybe on what you want the player to be able to. The point is, you should not be able to jump like in midair. So normally in Unity, if you had this problem, you would either raycast below it. You could either raycast below it. This is not as common, but you could use a trigger that is slightly bigger than your box, or what most people do is use a method called on collision enter, and it basically is like a callback if it gets called when two entities collide. So I've basically created that here, so I just made it for now a little hello collision thing. So if I go ahead and do this, so if I just hit the ground, then you see it fires off this little hello collision there. So it's pretty neat, and this is super useful because this means now, and that's gonna crash, and I'm gonna explain that in a second. Super useful because it now means that you can basically, like, if you're making a top-down shooter game, then you can like tell if the bullet has hit the enemy and then make them take damage or whatever. So the reason this crashed, and I didn't think this was gonna work to begin with, but most of the time, do not use this reinterpret cast. It's a very bad idea. Don't use it. Because, like, pretty much every time you use it, it just breaks your entire cast or whatever you're trying to do. It just pretty much never works unless you know exactly what you're doing. So, yeah, this just needs to be this. Just a reference with a cast. And I mean, this could be a pointer, and then this could be a, if you really wanted it to, you could have this be a, you could do that, but it's like, why would you not just use a reference? Like that, okay. And then this does not need to be dereferenced now. So anyways, that should fix that. I can kind of show the code, some of it behind this at least, or if you want to do this with, I'm using Box 2D, so if this is how you would do this with Box 2D. So you've got your, you know, little console here, and then whatever, and then when it touches the ground, you get this hello collision. Yeah, and then every time it smacks the ground, you get a hello collision. And then you can make this do whatever you want. Obviously does not have to say hello collision. You could make this, like, for instance, if you wanted to fix the game, which I will do in a second, you just have that set a boolean value to like false or true or whatever. But anyways, the way that you do this is, so in my scene thing, if you have like a, if you have your like Box 2D world or whatever and stuff and all your physics set up, I have a on physics 2D to start here, and it basically creates a physics world. So what you can do basically is have this set contact listener, and then you give it an instance to a class that derives from B2 contact listener, and then that basically every time two objects collide, it will send that callback. So if you look at this class real quick, so it is, I just called it physics contact listener, and I should just, yeah. And then it derives as a public B2 contact listener. You have to make sure it's public, otherwise it will not let you access it. And then you basically can have, I think there's actually a couple more functions that you can use here, but like at least just for what I'm doing currently, these are okay. So just these void begin callback and end callback, or callback contact, and basically these will fire off a on collision exit and on collision enter every time that two objects hit, and these have to be override, by the way. And then they just take in a B2 contact pointer. So you might be asking though, well, how are you going to pass that through to C#? Because obviously C# does not have a B2 contact like this thing. So basically what I did, if I go to, I don't remember what file it is, but maybe it's either this one or this one. But basically, I had a little struct, I think it's this one, yes. So basically, I had a struct, if you don't know, Unity has this like little thing, and I forget what it's called because I haven't used the Unity in a while. But basically, it has like this thing. If you do a on collision enter, on collision exit, on collision stay, or whatever, it basically what it does is it gives you this hit info. Or like I think it's called hit. I don't remember what kind of type it is, but the point is you can get like the entity that you hit and some other properties about it. And I like that, so I just went with something similar to that. And you basically have this structure called hit info, and it has a X position for the first object, Y position for the first object, X position for a second object, Y position for the second object, and then it has this UUID for the entity that you've hit. And it has this little constructor, so that's how you create one. And then if I go down here on these invoke, on collision, exit, or enter, or whatever, and I think this is actually, that may be I'm not sure, but anyways, so I think this actually needs to be, yeah, this would need to be up here as well. Okay, this, yeah, so basically though, it was just not, it works correctly, it's just not, forgot to give it this, you know, X position, Y position in the entity, because I'm being stupid. But anyways, yeah, if you want to, like, if you want, again, like the shooting example, so like if you wanted to get the entity that you hit, I'm sure that you could do that. So, and also we could fix the game. So if you go here and then project, so this is like the game code for the player right here. So basically what I did is I had this num of allowed jumps and num of jumps, but if you could remember, there was not a reset thing. So basically what I can do is, instead of doing this, well, I could do this as well. What I might do is, instead of just grab this code here and then take away that else, and then pretty much what you can do is, all you have to do is void on, yeah, and it's right here actually already, but basically it gives you this hit info, which is pretty much just the C# version of the hit info from C++, and it, yeah, it has all the same stuff. So just slap that in there, and that is a local variable. I don't actually, why is that X? Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Basically, if you're not holding the W key, well, yeah, I guess so. It doesn't, you don't really need this, but yeah, you don't really need that actually, but basically, so when I hit the platform, it should reset my jump. So if I control shift, and I can actually run this, go ahead and just run this, make sure everything works, and just load up the scene from the live stream over here, project, control shift B, okay, and then yes, okay, so now I'm spamming W right now, and yeah, the frame rate thing is still broken, but yeah, you can't, the point is you cannot like launch yourself and just hold W or continuously spam it, and you basically can't jump in midair anymore. So I'm gonna fix this frame issue as well, or at least I'm gonna attempt to, but yeah, so this is super useful because you can use it for a ton of different things, like this example, like the jump or whatever. So yeah, you don't mess this up, or like if you're having a fighting game, like the sword, whatever, you can do that. So I think the issue with this is that the frame, it just like, it kind of sets this to false, or it sets it to true really fast. So we could, I guess there's a couple different ways to do this, but I was curious if I do this, and this is now going to be variable refresh rate, and yeah, so I thought, yeah, we might need to set this to like 2. That's way too much. That's still way too much. Basically, I think when you multiply it by the time step, it may just go too quick. Like, this may need to, it needs to like wait for a second, but I'm not 100% sure how to do that. I think, is there like a system.sleep? I don't remember. Sleep, no. Or system.wait. I don't think async functions work right now. I'm pretty sure it will just crash the script engine if I remember correctly. But yeah, that's basically what this is used for, and it's super useful. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you for watching. Be sure you support by liking and subscribing, and that's it.